The main character of the movie is Junta Shiraishi. You're a quiet person. It's so bland that the Junta is invisible to everyone. But there is someone who is always paying attention to your presence. It's a table mate named Kubo-san, good at learning and good sports. Appearance and delivery always get attention from everyone. Maybe you and Nagisa. It's two completely opposite people. Even so, she always approaches you and teases you. Now Nagisa wants to see how invisible Jun is. I asked you to stand at the table for the hour. Really do something about it. No one's paying attention to you. Only when the teacher, remember that everyone knows about your existence. Next time you have to put pants on your head. After a while, Nagisa invited him to play again for the last time, because you're no longer invisible, which we can call the main character of today's lesson. Nagisa is the one who helped Jun, so you'll be your heroine. But Jun denied that. It's a bland saint who doesn't understand what girls mean. Nagisa's friend thinks he'll have some luck today. I can rarely see Jun. Not only that, I've seen him twice. Nagisa thought maybe she was special, so I can see him normally. The next morning, Nagisa came to the Junta with a rather grim face, so he asked her what she was angry about. I saw that, and she talked about it this morning. At that time, he remembered that after buying breakfast at the convenience store, then you go to school. In front of the gate, I met Nagisa, but she couldn't see him, so he went to class. Nagisa says you still don't understand. They should punish you with a game. You've said it before. No matter what I do, no one's paying attention, so now you're going to sit on your lap. Let's see if anyone notices. Nagisa came over and sat on his lap. At this point, Jun, I still don't understand what just happened. There's no one in the class who's paying attention to you, though. She said it's not good people to find out. I told Jun to be quiet. But with a quiet guy like you, I don't even dare to move. What to say is speak up. This makes Nagisa finds you very interesting. And he said he didn't say hello to her this morning. So this is the cause. Nagisa yelled at you all day. But Jun, I still don't understand why you took Ra for a joke like that. When you see that, you answer. You should think about it yourself, because if you say Ra, the movie is over. After every class, you always go up to see the teacher. This makes Nagisa wonder. So he explained that he was meeting him to check in. Because when you roll in, first of all, no one can hear you. If so, I didn't have to answer a question before class. Nagisa asked if he wanted to try 1x0. When she finished speaking, she raised her hand. But he said he didn't know and asked for Jun. It's a real newspaper. You don't know how to answer, but fortunately, Nagisa helped. Go back to Nagisa and ask for your contact information. But before I finished, her two sisters came. That's why Nagisa had to put this off. The next day she was running when she met Junta. Worship outside the park. He told me about how he wanted to get free paper towels. But they didn't see you. You've done enough to get attention. Right then, Nagisa took out her phone and took a picture. And make excuses, see if your phone can identify you. As a result, even the phone doesn't recognize it. Nagisa took a picture with you. Nagisa asked for your contact information after taking the picture. I want to send Jun back the picture. Before leaving, she asked Junta next time to go out together. Back then, Nagisa always looked at the picture they both took and laughed. Your sister just looked at you and guessed it. Nagisa's having some fun. Episode 2 today during class, Junta feel very sleepy. But when you look at Nagisa, since when have you been sleeping? You just saw Junta. Good morning then. And now it's the afternoon and I'm going back to sleep. You have a workout after class. But every time Junta goes to the track, it's very difficult. Because every time you get to the finish line, I have to speak out loud to let people know. Nagisa then ran to find Jun. Just finished playing sports. You have a lot of sweat on you. As soon as you see her coming, stay away. But Nagisa, go smell it and tell me I don't care. I told him to wait here for a while and then run away. And Jun, I still don't understand SAO because after the exercise. Then she smells so good. Right after that, Nagisa came back and handed him her bag of tissues. And said if you use it, it'll smell like her. As soon as I heard that, Junta stood up. Class, while she was changing, the sisters came running. I want to borrow Nagisa's paper towels, but she won't let me. Understand enough that you don't want the flag to drop like an AI outside of you. I was on my way for a walk today. Nagisa accidentally sees Jun standing in front of the bookstore. But the strange thing is that the automatic door doesn't open. Makes you wait. There, at that moment, a couple came up. The door automatically opens. Unfortunately, the Junta is still standing there and can't get in. Nagisa came over and helped him open the door. I can tell you that your presence extends to modern technology. You can't recognize it either. Jun, I'm here today to buy a new series. Nagisa said she wanted to try reading them too. Unfortunately, the first part of the series is no longer available. So you asked for Jun's loan. I told her I'd take her to school tomorrow. But when I came back, I knew that my house was in the same direction. Nagisa offered to come by and borrow it. You see, you're a little hesitant, but I think it's just a manga loan. Just agree with her. Later, he gave her some stories. Nagisa did not expect the two families to be so close together. And I know, because you usually leave earlier than she does, so you two can't see each other. Then Nagisa said goodbye to him and left. The next day, she set her alarm earlier than usual. Then, get your stuff ready for school. Stand in front of the mirror. Let's find out which hairstyle is suitable for today. That's my wife, guys. I also use my sister's water. Her sister saw that and understood the problem. Nagisa got up early to meet her crush. You're going to use your expensive flower water. I see this woman wanting to get angry. Nagisa was ashamed to leave school first. Then she stood by the side of the road, waiting for Jun to arrive. When I saw you, it was a coincidence that you two met. Jun stood there for a while and thought this was just a coincidence. Then go with her. They both go to school like that. And this is the first time you've ever had someone like that. Because it was early, Nagisa told him to stay here. You two sit down and talk to each other. But it's mostly because she spoke first. After a while, Nagisa's two sisters arrived. They didn't even recognize Jun's existence at first. But Nagisa reminded us that we both saw you. Junta was a little nervous, so he left first. Hazuki and Tamao saw that and thought he'd see a lot of things today. Fortunately, today is the same as every day. No one can see or communicate with you. A bland day, just like that, ends. Leave because you avoid giving way to others. Jun was accidentally hit by water, although a little disgraced. But since no one's paying attention, you're not worried. But that's when he met Nagisa. She told you to go back to the bathroom, but when you got there, the house is locked. I forgot my keys in class. She texted me and said she'd be back in 2 hours. If you see that, you can wash your hair in the park. But Nagisa kept you and invited Jun to her house. Your house has hot water, and you have something to change. It would be better outside the park. If you see that, you agree. We both went to Nagisa's house for a while. When you go to the bathroom, you see something you shouldn't see. Nagisa was afraid to cover them with a cloth. After a while, Nagisa went to her room to prepare a set for Jun. He had just taken a shower and came out and saw her sitting there. Maybe I'm still ashamed of what happened. This time, Jun received a message that she was back. He thanked Nagisa and said goodbye to her. While walking, when Junta remembered what happened, she blushed. After episode 2, always practice BA. Junta met Nagisa today and returned her things to her. Suddenly, she asked him how tall he was. When she heard the answer, she said, "Measure my height, and say that this height is the difference. Ideal for a couple listening. That makes young people stand up." I can't believe her words have power. Damage is so high. Your class has a final exam today. After the end, Jun told me to get busy and go first. There's a boy sitting alone in the park. Passers-by saw that and came to ask, but actually Rajun was sitting there. This kid's name is Sator, and he's Jun's brother. I promised the boy that. Going out in the snow today. That's why Jun came back in such a hurry. At that moment, Nagisa came to surprise him. She went to say hello to Satu, and seeing the boy's expression made Nagisa, I think this boy is cute. See. She liked the water bottle in her hand, so she gave it to the boy. After drinking, he gave it back to Nagisa. And tell her to drink. See her. He drank it and gave it to his brother. But you refused. So Satu used his magic to eat the chief. That's why you have to take it. You're just pretending, though. Should be Nagisa. You're ashamed to have a kiss with her. I went to a store today to buy a book. But because there were so many people there, he was afraid to communicate. I dare not go there. When everyone leaves, you move on. I saw a book you picked up and thought it was a hot book. You think if I read a little, it's okay, because no one knows. I think you're going to open it. Suddenly a sister came. You're not old enough to see it. Then Jun. I told him I just wanted to put it back in its place. But you can't believe what you've been thinking. She can guess it all. Junta then bought a book and left. When Junta was leaving, the staff member's sister, I found your student ID. I went to the same school as my sister. So when she got home, she gave Nagisa Cho and asked her to return it. Nagisa knew the boy. My grandmother told me that she had just seen a hot book at the store. I also like terrible girls. I went to class the next morning and brought out Jun Cho. No intention to pay. He said it was picked up by his sister. And asked if you like big-breasted girls. When Junta heard it, he realized. The staff girl that day was Nagisa's sister. And now Nagisa wants to tease me. But you haven't answered yet. Then she gave it back to you and left. She's wondering right now. How can I talk about this with my son? When she got home, her sister asked if Christmas was coming. Does Nagisa have any plans? When I was in class, I saw that everyone was talking about this. But they have a couple, and we have FA. Nagisa didn't know what to do that day. At that time, June, I'm back. She asked if he remembered his promise to go out together. So she asked you out on Christmas Day. Jun, I agree after listening. But because you were so nervous, you came earlier. 30-minute appointment. But because it's Christmas, there are more couples than usual. So you've had a hard time avoiding them. It was almost time for Nagisa to arrive. She took his hand and asked Jun when I got here. I knew you had been waiting for me for a long time, so I gave you a present. Christmas, you said you were looking forward to the day. I want a gift from Jun. When you see that, you ask her to wait here and buy a gift. But afraid to communicate forever, you still can't buy anything. Nagisa, I have been waiting here for a long time, and I will see you again. He brought out a pair of gloves that surprised her. I know Nagisa is waiting for me cold. You don't know what to buy, so I gave her a pair of gloves. Nagisa put it on and said she was happy for such a meaningful gift. But I find Nagisa's gift even more meaningful. I bought Chojun, a reflective yellow shirt. There are 3 characters in front, because you think if you put it on, will be more prominent. Please come here like VI to subscribe to my support channel. Now say goodbye.